cinema matinee. I ain't got 750 to pay.
Everybody now.
All right, Jason Statham. So he was a transporter, and now he's a mechanic.
Well, first he drove the cars, and now he works on them.
I would not want him to work on my car. Could you imagine going to his gas station and be like, "Oh, you haven't changed your oil in 5 months." Slam, slam, slam.
Hooking up jumper cables to his balls all the time. Hey, you mind working on the car for once?
If I don't get juiced, I can't get the repairs done,
Yeah.
man.
This is a remake of a 77 Charles Bronson movie?
That's right.
72.
Charlie Bronson.
Charles Bronson.
72 Charlie Bronson.
Charlie Bronson and
That's
Jan
right.
Michael Vincent.
I never saw the original film.
Man card removed.
This movie here, now I don't think the movie was just god-awful terrible, but it don't really make a whole lot of fucking sense to me. And it does
You
not
guys
make...
kind of baffle me. You're coming out of this hating on this the way I've been hearing, because I actually thought it was not bad.
Now you go shoving words in people's mouths. I did not use that word hate at all. Hate is a
Well, you
powerful
said
word.
it didn't make any sense.
It didn't make-
saying,
Well,
what
I
didn't make
wouldn't
sense?
say that it didn't make any sense, but there's lots of places in there where it's like, it just got so sloppy. Okay, this is a story of, Jason Statham. He's not just an assassin. He's a mechanic. And a mechanic is a guy who can go in and kill undetected. You make it look like an accident.
Yeah, you don't know it was an assassination.
But Jason Statham, his character Bishop, is told like, hey, next guy you got to kill is your mentor, Donald Sutherland. It's pretty much, look, either you're going to kill Donald Sutherland or I'm going to send somebody else. And since you love him, you'll be nice about it. I'm just sending guys who's just going to fuck him up. So, and he's set up. And also, Donald Sutherland has kind of a fuck-up son, played by Ben Foster, who's just an angry young man, can never get his shit together. And Bishop decides, you know what? I need to take him under my wing and look out for him and eventually train him to do what I do.
Why would he have emotions about bringing some guy who's a fucking drunk to be his assistant?
And that's the other thing, because in the original it made sense because it was his guilt really eating him up.
I got that here too. That was pretty specific.
Well, you know what,
I
though?
won't say that they didn't explain it, but they didn't sell it. But there comes a point when they start the killings where the killings are sloppy. They're like, there's DNA and evidence all over the place.
There's one point where he goes in and kills somebody, both of them, and they walk out, and I'm like, fingerprints, motherfucker, fingerprints. They close the door and just leave like nothing.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Did you not think about the whole scene that happened on the streets? There's so much stuff going on with vans and buses and trucks piling up on each other on a city block, and there are no single cops whatsoever.
No.
You don't even hear the faintest hint of a siren. It starts to really eat at you. Like, how did these guys hit me to begin with? I mean,
This is a Jason Statham action film.
Man,
And
don't do
y'all
that.
like
You
talking
know
about-
what?
No,
Cyrus, I hate this whole like
Judge-
this
no,
is
wait,
this is
hey,
just
hey,
a so and so movie. I don't do that.
Corey, it's my turn now.
Let him finish.
My turn.
Let
Let
him
me finish. But as far as the story goes, I mean, if you take it apart from like looking too closely at that stuff, okay, I really enjoyed watching these people work together. I like the way the story plays out, and I love the way where the violence went. I thought it was actually pretty goddamn well filmed violence.
If it's a film where they just want to be a balls out action film, I can accept that. The movie did change tones. I think it did go from being sort of like a drama to being just a flat out action film. Now, having said that, I like the action in it. I had a lot of fun with the film. I'm just a little disappointed. That's all.
It's just a shame that it starts out being a much better movie than it ends up, and it's just kind of a letdown. And I just give it a really high rental.
I'll go ahead and just give it a rental. Yeah. About 20 minutes in the movie, it turns into the typical action movie, and pretty much by a couple days you'll forget it.
All right. Look, you'll never hear me complain about Crank, and Crank is about as insane as you can get, but it's consistent. This isn't, but it's fun. I mean, I really did like the movie. There's certain parts of it I really enjoyed. I want to give this movie a higher rating than what I'm going to give it, but it just doesn't afford me that. I can give it a really, really high rental.
I thought the action was a lot of fun, especially the big ridiculous car chase sequence. I thought that was so absurdly violent that I was laughing out loud and clapping. Is it realistic? No. Does it have a good ending? No. Is it filled with really terrible music video sequences?
No.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I should have phrased that one differently. But it's a matinee.
It is getting more and more obvious that there's a clause in Jason Statham's contract that he has to take his shirt off because his chest is actually getting screen time by itself. So they freeze frame certain things, like he's taking his shirt off and like they freeze frame, and then they do another freeze frame, but it zooms in on his chest, and it's like, and it's like it was almost like it was saying The Mechanic starring Jason Statham. and Jason Statham's nipple. You see his nipple up there like posing and shit.
Try to make it real.